Last week, it was their favorite food in the world. This week, they act like it is poison. Here is the number that changes everything for exhausted parents staring at yet another untouched plate tonight. Between ages 2 and 4, toddlers reject foods they previously loved an average of 15 times before accepting them again. And that number is not a failure. Researchers consider it a completely normal developmental baseline for this age. Most parents see stubbornness, pickiness, refusal, a child seemingly determined to survive on crackers, pasta, and air. From an adult perspective, it makes no sense. Why refuse a food you have never even tasted once? Why reject something you genuinely enjoyed last week? Why insist on the same 3 foods every single day? The answer starts with a surprising fact about human evolution, and it changes how mealtimes feel. Toddlers are becoming independent, and independence includes making their own decisions about what goes in their mouth. Around this age, many children become noticeably more cautious about unfamiliar foods appearing on their plate. Researchers have a name for it: food neophobia, which simply means a fear of new foods. It feels frustrating today. But this trait likely protected young children throughout most of human history. Think about it. A crawling baby stays close to caregivers. A walking toddler can suddenly explore everything. Watsi doubts the podcast. They pick things up. They put things in their mouths. They taste completely random objects without hesitation. From a survival perspective, being suspicious about unfamiliar foods was genuinely helpful. Caution kept small explorers alive. The toddler brain treats new foods as guilty until proven safe. But what about foods they loved? Many parents know this story. Strawberries every single day for 2 weeks, then suddenly refused, seemingly forever. At least it feels like forever. The reality is that toddler preferences simply change remarkably fast. Growth slows compared to infancy. Appetites fluctuate day to day. Interests shift almost as quickly as moods. And control becomes precious. For a small person with little power, food choices are real power. A refused food rarely means dislike forever. Often it is independence being exercised, loudly, at dinner. Sometimes they are exploring variety, sometimes testing what happens, and sometimes they are simply being toddlers. While the same beloved meals return again and again, that repetition is not laziness, it is comfort. Which raises the real question underneath it all. Why do familiar foods feel so deeply safe? New foods feel uncertain. Familiar foods feel safe, predictable, comfortable, reliable. Your toddler knows exactly what is coming. And toddler life is constant change. New words, new rules, new faces, new places every week. In the middle of all that, the same meal is reassurance. An anchor, not a lack of imagination. Now for the part that surprises most parents. Picky eating often reflects genuinely healthy development. Your toddler is practicing decision-making, risk assessment, body awareness, independence, and forming preferences that are truly theirs. These are skills you actually want. The goal is not deleting them. The goal is guiding them. Tamsin huisli unfirmorn, helping your child grow comfortable exploring food over time, without turning dinner into a nightly battle. So what do calm, healthy mealtimes actually look like in practice? One mindset changes almost everything. Parents decide what is offered. Children decide how much they eat. Structure on one side, freedom on the other. Offer balanced meals. Keep the familiar favorites on the plate. And keep quietly introducing something new beside them. Stay calm. Stay consistent. Not every meal needs to be a success story, and that is fine. Development is not measured plate by plate. It is measured over months of small, quiet progress. Which brings us back to that opening number, 15 rejections. Here is why it matters so much. The most effective strategy researchers point to is repeated exposure. Not forcing, not bribing, just exposure. Children often need 10, 15, sometimes more encounters with a food before they finally accept it. So success today is not always eating. Success might be looking at it, touching it, smelling it. Even just letting it sit on the plate counts. Every exposure makes the unfamiliar a little smaller. Because uncertainty is the real obstacle, not taste. Shrink the uncertainty, and acceptance tends to follow. If your toddler refuses new foods right now, take a breath. You are not alone. You are not failing. This is one of the most common toddler phases there is. Most children expand their preferences as they grow. Your toddler is not being difficult. They are being cautious, investigating the world with a system built for survival. The long game is not getting food in today. It is building a healthy relationship with food for years. So remember the 3 quiet tools: patience, exposure, consistency. They beat pressure almost every single time. Subscribe if this was useful. Share it with a parent in this exact phase, and tell me what your toddler needs explained.